You got the cohorts. You got, I'm assuming, individual coaching as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What does that look like? How does somebody kind of find out about it?
Yeah.
How do they find out if they're a potential candidate for it? How do you select who you're going to give your time to?
Yeah, that's great questions. So I have a discovery process to see if we are a right fit for one another. And I'm really passionate, like I said, about integrators specifically. So where you place integrators into roles, if you're brand new, you're not sure, I'd love to be that mentor and help you through the process. And again, that emerging leader, that woman who has not quite found their destination and unsure of how to get there, or need that confidence to really step into the role. What my mentors did for me, I want to now do for them.
That's so cool. And how long would a kind of an engagement last? So I'm thinking there's so many different criteria here. So someone's listening to this right now and they're like, that's me, or, hey, that's somebody on my team. I'm not, I'm not qualified for this role, but I would love to send so-and-so on my team to be a part of something here. How long is that? Is that a 1 year engagement? Is it case by case?
Mentorships can, be as small as 3 to 6 months, or they can last years. The coaching program that I have is a 12-month commitment.
Oh, okay.
And it includes, one-on-one coaching, group coaching, and a retreat. I love our retreats.
Yeah, totally. And so it's not tied to FIM, separate.
Yes.
So it's not like they automatically get to go to FIM conferences or that. It's separate.
No. Yeah, this is two separate things.
That's cool.
Yeah.
What is your biggest fear?
Oh, wow. Heights? No, I'm just kidding.
We're on the 25th floor right now. The reason we have the curtains closed is so you don't feel like scared of looking down on Indianapolis. But.
No, my biggest fear, I think my biggest fear for a long time has been failure.
Yeah.
It's one reason why I surround myself with really amazing people, successful people that I can really look up to, look to see what are they doing to inspire me to continue moving forward. But I think fear has always been, my biggest fear has always been the failure and not making my Mimi and my daddy proud. That's the biggest thing.
Where do you think that comes from?
I really don't know, but it's ever since I was a little girl. There was one time I did something my dad told me not to. And the worst thing ever that was said to me was, I'm disappointed in you. Mm. And when my daddy said that, I was like, I will never disappoint my daddy again, ever.
Wow.
I will never disappoint him again.
Wow.
And so I live my life really making sure that I am always making my grandmother proud, always making my daddy proud.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I love him, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, when that happened, it was probably the worst thing. I was so heartbroken when he said that to me. But looking back at it, it's probably one of the best things that happened. Yeah. Because now I'm like, oh, that's how I'm going to live. I'm not. Do
you ever get to process that with him or no?
I haven't. Yeah. I don't think I ever have. I probably should.
He's still alive?
Yes.
Yeah, it's interesting. I know as parents, like we say things and we don't realize the impact of it, positive or negative.
And you know what? He probably doesn't even remember saying it to me.
No, probably not.
But it was, and it was something silly, stupid that I did. But the word disappointment just struck with me, and I was like, oh, I will never disappoint my daddy again.
Isn't it? It's amazing how just these little sound bites, and obviously from your dad, it's obviously it's your dad, so you want to please your dad and you love your dad. And I remember. I don't know, I must have been probably 7 years old maybe, and being called up in front of the class. I'm like, now I say, I'm super ADHD, but back then I would have, never been labeled as that or, but I remember not paying attention in class, and the teacher probably recognized that I wasn't paying attention. So she used that moment to pull me up and have me do the math sum on the board, on the blackboard. But I hadn't been listening. I had no clue what was going on. It's kind of like, well, go on, show the class that you know what you're doing. And I'm like, just froze there. I mean, it's kind of the moment when I could have just peed my pants right there in front of the whole class. I was so embarrassed. And I didn't know what to say, super humiliated. And I just froze, with the little chalk in my hand as a little tiny little boy. And I still, to this day, if somebody asks me like a math equation, I'm like, here, you work it out. Hand the calculator. I just check my email here. I'll do something else. Like, do not ask me something like that. And it's not that I can't do it. It's that I freeze in that moment because I don't like the feeling of humiliation.
Yes.
And it's like still to this day, you know, it's like, man, it's crazy. I'm in my 40s and I'm like crippled by something that happened when I was a tiny little child.
Right.
And I have to fight really hard to get over it.
Yeah.
But even in front of my young kids, they'll laugh at me because I'm like, oh, I'm just terrible at math. And I keep massaging in this lie.
Yeah.
Because it just helps protect me from humiliation.
Right. And I completely understand, because if you humiliate me, I'm done.